We've got the University of Washington playing against the University of California, San Diego. Let's go!
Absolutely. That loading bar is starting up, initializing those referee systems, and we are about to get this match underway.
Shout out to the dads in the chat and in person. We really appreciate it. But here's the match. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That early strategy has been so important from both teams. You see the red team deciding to play a little bit cautiously. Red Hero 1 staying behind the barricade. Both of the blue robots from the University of Washington also playing cautiously. Both of these teams know that all of the robots should be extremely functional. Oh, look at that beautiful actuation from the University of Washington on the red side. That lid actuation to make sure that their 17mm projectiles don't fall out. We've got a little bit of light trading happening between both of the sentries and the heroes on these teams. All of them meeting in the middle. That's picking up pace pretty quick. You can hear those bullets hitting, those projectiles hitting the armor plates. There
Blue
they
sustaining
go.
a reasonable amount of damage. Blue Standard 3 almost about to die from the red Standard 3.
Blue Standard 3 dropping very low. Wow, great drop from that red. Oh my goodness. And now the red team is taking shots at the blue sentry.
And those shots are connecting, putting the red team in the lead. There's the ball.
There's some projectiles flying at the commentator's stand. We apologize for the screaming. But a great job done from both of these teams. Excellent job from our red team. I believe it's the University of Washington pushing up so early, getting that early damage onto the sentry. A reminder that the sentry health is one of those win conditions. So if they can get that damage done and then defend, that will be sufficient for their match W. Both teams taking a second to pull back, heal, and reload their ammo. You're getting a cool look here. This is what the first-person view looks like from inside of, I believe this is the University of Washington hero, based on their heads-up display.
And you can see that health. You can see once they start shooting, you'll be able to see the barrel heat. You can see where you take damage from in the armor plate. Looks like a robot's going to be knocked offline on the blue team as well.
All
There's
right.
that spin to win tactic being employed in the middle there.
MVP of the match, definitely starting out as the red hero, red end standard for the University of Washington, as it gets another couple kills and then moves on to deal more damage to the sentry. Oh
that
wow!
Sentry taking a decent chunk of damage.
Doing a ton of damage to the sentry from that red standard. Great job, University of Washington. The engineers, the pilots, just crushing it in this early game.
That's going to put red in the lead with the damage done to that sentry that is going to be permanent until the sentry is able to shoot. The sentry will have lifesteal if it connects any shots. That is the only way it gets its health back, but it also has a fixed amount of ammunition.
We now have the red standard from UW waiting to get back into that refill zone. Looks like he's used all of his 17mm projectiles. Watch this. They fill it up. Look at this lid. This lid makes me so happy. It's so satisfying.
Oh, wow, you're
Unless
right.
they forgot to close it. All right. Both UW and UCSD coming out, firing strong.
These great first-person shots as we're seeing these robots engage each other near the red base. And that's going to be a 1 kill for the red team. Can they make it 2?
Great push from the UCSD. Glad to see them taking that aggressive route, getting inside. That is what the death looks like as one of the pilots. You had that rare look into that first-person view. We now have Red Standard 3 again from UW taking more shots at the sentry as a couple of them fly towards the commentator stand once again. So exciting. Great to see. Excellent showing from both teams.
Substantial amount of damage, less than half health remaining on it. That is going to be almost offline. If they can knock that offline, that'll be huge, and that'll put the red team at a massive advantage over this blue team.
We are now in the cockpit of the UW Standard. Hopefully we'll get to stay in here and get a view of what it looks like to be taking those shots at the sentry.
As you can see, whenever you run into walls, you actually do take damage because the force sensors are the things that determine if you take damage or not. And that's going to be another death on the blue team. From
Here we go. This is once again the UW Standard coming up. You can see that the UCSD has done a great job on their sentry. It is moving, but it is taken out by the University of Washington Standard, who is now moving on to the base.
Will this be the first base kill of the NA competition?
Oh my goodness. Look at that firing rate.
You can see that barrel heat as they start to exceed almost...
Insane accuracy coming across from the University of Washington.
The blue standard moving back to try to defend that base as the red standard is pounding that base with a lot of 17mm projectiles. He is now having to go refill ammo once again.
A few bumps exchanged there between the two standards on each side. A yellow card given across to, I believe, the University of Washington Standard for ramming. Ramming is illegal in these matches as it is a health hazard to our robots, and we want them to be functional for all of the matches throughout the game.
30 seconds left, and it's going to take a lot for UCSD to be able to come back from this. They're going to need to take out the sentry and get base damage, and that means they're going to have to move very quickly.
Wow. Excellent showing from the University of Washington here, and still a great performance from UCSD. We love to see this team field all of their robots, be competitive, have that strategy. They did come back and defend their base and prevented the University of Washington from being able to finish that base off.
That would have been the first base death in the qualifying match that they were able to get that off, but that blue defense being strong enough to push them back, and now that is going to be a free advantage.
Wow.
Very impressive match, very action-packed, so many projectiles. Just once again a ball pit in that arena. That is going to be a lot of work for our volunteers to get in there and start to try to sweep up.
That was a spicy round from our red-bearded turkey Hokies. I believe that is the mascot there. That incredible job from both teams. All right, Matt, let's break that match down. So obviously, University of Washington did an excellent job with their standard. We got to sit in the cockpit and watch it take that sentry out. We got to see them just with incredible accuracy unload on the base. What does UCSD need to do? We saw them start pretty passively, and then